Yeah. Did you try and block Nigel's knighthood?
I was asked to lobby after a decision had been made. Even if the decision hadn't been made...
Oh, you mean by the Honours Committee? They'd already made up their minds not to give in?
They make their decision in November, apparently. I was asked to lobby in December. I was being asked to close the stable door after the horse had bolted.
And did you try and close that stable door?
I think it would be churlish for Nigel not to get an honour that recognises his contribution.
Right.
And
What should that be?
I've lobbied for UKIP getting its share of peerages and honours, and I've been quite robust in doing that. Fundamentally, if a decision is made in November and you ask me to intervene in December, I'm afraid even with my powers...
But just to be clear, this charge from Aaron Banks that you tried to block it, you're saying that's rubbish?
I have no power to block anyone's time.
But you didn't want to block it, is what you're saying? Are you saying you didn't want...
Yeah. Absolutely.
I've got to say, it seems to me Douglas has behaved completely honourably in this matter. On the other hand, today, to have Paul Nuttall riding to your defence, I mean, it's a bit of a blow, isn't it, really? I mean, possibly the least credible politician in Britain at the moment, you know.
You like Paul Nuttall?
I do. I think Paul is great. I'm 100% behind him. You know, let's not... You know, your party leader's got a few issues. My party in Parliament is 100% behind our party leader in a way that perhaps your party isn't yet. So,
and do you whip yourself?
I do, but we occasionally have a backbench rebellion, but I crush it brutally and savagely.
Now, this morning, we have had quite some reaction on Twitter from UKIP funder Aaron Banks. Douglas Carswell, he has actually levelled quite an accusation at you. I'm going to show you the Twitter exchange, which is quite complicated. This is former UKIP donor Aaron Banks. His accusation is that you gave UKIP data to the Conservatives fighting Nigel Farage in Thanet South at the last election. Aaron Banks is here reiterating that he will stand against you in Clacton. Could he beat you, Douglas?
So let's just get that charge put to you. Did you give sensitive data to the Tories?
Utter nonsense. I'm blamed for not getting Nigel knighthood. I'm now being blamed for our failure in Thanet South. How long before they rewrite history and blame me for Stoke? Look, you know...
He's the only UKIP politician who's ever won an election to Parliament, and they obviously resent him very much.
You know, since the referendum, we won for heaven's sake. Since the referendum, I've been in this zen-like state of bliss. I've been walking on sunshine. I've felt like an emoji smiling every day. What is it about these people that makes them so cross?
Just to be clear, because the other charge they throw at you is that you're thinking of defecting back to the Tories. Is there any truth to that?
Of course he should go back to the Conservatives.
I'm not rejoining the Conservatives.
Of course he should.
I'm not really a Conservative. I like change. I want change. The Conservative Party is doing the right thing now, but they're only doing it because they're forced to. That's the trouble with the Conservative Party.
So you're very comfortable in UKIP, and you will fight the next election as a UKIP candidate.
Absolutely. I feel very... And, you know, there's this talk about people standing against me. I've stood in Clacton 4 times. I've won 4 times. And, you know, every time I've stood, there have been the most eccentric and wonderful names on the ballot paper. Once, there was even a candidate who changed his name by deed poll to Mr. Ha Ha Woof Woof. He got a couple hundred votes. I'm very relaxed about it.
But having your own party and your own donors saying they're going to stand against you. Look, the reason why Douglas should go back was because...
So you think he should go back to the Tories?
Look, Douglas advocated a hard Brexit. He now has a Prime Minister who, rightly or wrongly, I think wrongly, is ploughing ahead with a hard Brexit. From the inside of the Conservative Party, he could hold them to account and influence their direction much more effectively than from UKIP, where he has to spend all of his time being attacked by Aaron Banks while being defended by Paul Nuttall, and I'm not sure which is worse.
To be fair...
Which is worse, Douglas?
The past 8 months, I have felt so happy and so delighted. I just ask again, what is it that makes these people so cross? If primarily you're in politics to get us outside the EU, which is why I'm in politics, why the long, grumpy faces?
Just to go back to Labour...
Yep.
For...
You didn't, frankly, have the balls to put country before party.